Okay, so some of you might already know this, but I didn't. And I'm pretty happy I stumbled upon a way to save potentially thousands of dollars on your treatment through tax deductions. And it's something that's not super popular because it doesn't apply to a lot of people, and I'll tell you why. But I think it'll apply to a lot of my viewers, a lot of people who are paying out of pocket for large medical expenses like MSE, braces, any expander really, even double jaw surgery. A lot of you are paying out of pocket because it's not always covered. So check this out. You can deduct any medical expense. Well, there's a list, but it's a generous list, and you'll see why, off of your taxable income. But first, those medical expenses must exceed 7.5% of your adjusted gross income. I personally saved a ton of money this way in 2020 alone. And I know that it's a lot of you might have already filed your taxes, so it might be a little bit late, but track everything and keep this in mind for next year. But I'm going to give you an example. Let's say your household income is $70,000. I'm choosing $70,000 because the more you make, the more money back you're going to get from these deductions because you're taxed at a higher rate. So just to drive the point home, let's say you make $70,000. And let's say that you haven't made any deductions so far, so your adjustable gross income is also $70,000. Well, 7.5% of your adjustable gross income so far is $5,250. And that's why these deductions don't apply to most Americans. Most Americans aren't spending over $5,000 out of pocket, depending on how much they make, on medical expenses. Unfortunately, a lot of us are, because UARS and a lot of these treatments for sleep apnea, they're very new, not always covered by insurance. Mine wasn't entirely covered by insurance, and even if it is covered by insurance, you're often having to go out of network for these consultations and treatments. So let's say, for example, you start off with getting MSE and braces, and both of those together, your orthodontist charges you $10,000. So first you have to subtract your threshold, your medical expense deductible threshold, which was $5,250, from your current sum of medical expenses, which for MSE and braces is now $10,000. So $10,000 minus $5,250 is $4,750, meaning you can now deduct $4,750 from your current adjustable gross income. So rather than being taxed now on $70,000, you're getting taxed on $70,000 minus $4,750, which is $6,520. And let's say you're living by the beach here in Southern California like I am. I just use a calculator online. How much are you saving from doing that? Well, before, without deducting those medical expenses, you would have been taxed around $13,800 in 2020. But after, you're going to be taxed around $12,400, meaning that just by deducting MSE, your refund's going to go up by $1,400. That's no insignificant cost. Okay, let's do another example. I know a lot of you have to pay completely out of pocket for double jaw surgery and MSE. Let's say you're getting MSE in 2020 and you finish and you're also getting double jaw surgery in 2020, and out of pocket you're paying these exorbitant prices. So let's say your jaw surgery is $30,000 and your MSE plus braces is still $10,000, meaning your total out of pocket medical expenses for the year are $40,000. So again, first we subtract our medical expense deduction threshold that is relative to our income at 7.5% from our medical expenses for the year at $40,000 for a deductible amount of $34,750. So now we subtract $34,750 from our previous adjustable gross income of $70,000 for a new adjustable gross income of $35,250. And so instead of paying, again, our $13,800 in taxes for the year, we'd be paying $5,200 for net savings of $8,600. But you'd be surprised what can qualify as a medical expense. In addition to MSE in 2020 and braces, I also expensed every consultation fee I've paid for all those opinions I've gotten throughout the year. The huge copays for the in-lab sleep study I had in 2020, copay for CPAP supplies, and get this, you can even deduct the travel expenses to get to the doctor. So my surgeon is in Bay Area and I'm in Southern California. That's almost a 400-mile drive, and they deduct per mile. You can even deduct hotels you paid for during your consultations. I know a lot of you happen to be traveling long and far for those consultations. And that's not to mention all the ordinary things that count as a medical expense, such as eye exams, new glasses, your copay for dental cleaning, checkups, therapy. It can total to a lot. If you have already made a big medical purchase and you haven't filed your taxes yet, or if you're planning on making a big medical purchase in 2021, and you're confident you're going to go over that medical expense deduction threshold relative to your income, log everything. 20 minutes of work could save you thousands of dollars. I hope that was helpful. You can look online and find a bunch of resources as to what counts as a medical expense and the details of how to actually deduct it. And let me know in the future if this trick has saved you any money.